In the beginning, there was light, but some of us were born in the hush beneath it. Years of our lives passed underground, rooted, reaching, unseen. Then came the fracture, the pull upward, through mud, through memory, through the ache of unspoken things. And when the sky broke open, there was no going back. This is the story of that climb, of finding a voice, of shedding old skins, of rising, not unscarred, but finally whole. Beneath the surface, time thickens. Here, in the hush of clay and root, everything waits. It is a world of memory, not movement, where dreams lie dormant and truth softens into silence. There is no sky here, no sound but your own pulse, only the comfort of shadow and the ache of what hasn't yet begun. Children of the forest traverse the land with muddy toes and earthworm soles. Towering trees jut into the sky, crafting a labyrinth of sycamore shadows and locust chatter. Harsh winters mold deceptive ice over frigid ponds. One false step, and crash. George Bailey lost his hearing. I lost my trust in appearances. Spring again, not soon enough, but welcome as itchy grass and fallen pine cones scratch at our feet. Muddy paw prints of creature and child alike map well-worn paths charted previously only by the wind. Screams of laughter ripple in the leaves. Even in the freedom of open woods, the need for shelter lingers, not from the weather, but from the knowing that something inside is already shifting. So we build, not just forts, but boundaries. Soft walls to hold back the questions, branches draped like prayers over the truth we aren't ready to face. Far past the big clearing, into the vines and burr, a lean-to has been quietly built by the hands of young boys. A secret they giggled into the air, honeysuckle laughs sweetening the thick pall of summer. Hard rays of sun shine through the gaps where lumps of moss had been removed in a flurry of joy over a passing buck. Hello. A stream trickles through the creek bed, an overture of adventures on Grandpa's land, ripe with wild berries and rabbit holes. Breaking the hush of nature, the dinner bell clangs in the distance. A mad dash back to the house begets scraped shins and rough tumbles onto the lawn. We would return to the levee many times, until the day we did not. Years later, I wonder, are you still there? Have you stayed the same? Or have we all changed? These memories still smell sweetly of rotted wood, which quietly masked the smell of a rotting soul. We all begin somewhere, but some are cast into thorns, while others wake in sunlight. Whether by chance or some distant, indifferent god, the path is drawn, treacherous. It's no fault of ours, and yet, how sweet it must be to dance in the fields instead of clawing up the hill. I am sorry for the young legs still sore from the womb that are thrown at the base of a hill and told to climb. I am sorry for the cuts and bruises on bare feet, the blood-soaked hands rubbed raw from prayer. I am sorry that this one life begins not with joy, but with pain and doubt, questioning why they are climbing and why their friends are dancing in the strawberry fields below, feet stained red from walking through a sweet and simple life. One day, for no apparent reason, the ground begins to shift. What once felt like safety now presses too tightly. The dark grows heavy, not quiet. A restlessness rises in the bones, not yet light, but no longer still. To move forward means tearing through the familiar, scraping past old roots, chasing a sky that might not hold you. But the ache to rise becomes louder than the fear, and so the breaking begins. As the first soft petals of spring turn toward the sun, my cramped body unfurls, and I see for the first time a field of grass. I tear through it, aimlessly colliding with broken rocks and thorny limbs. After miles of chasing that which I could not name, bleeding, bruised, I wonder if freedom is for me. I ache for comfort. I cry for home, but the search is wasted, for the place I seek to return to has already been devoured by a thicket of leaves and bent branches, overgrown yet barren. So I wander on, trusting this new wind beneath my wings, and search for something, anything, to ease my pain. I've had a lot of hard experiences in my life, but nothing compares to this. Everything else has felt like maybe there's a right or a wrong answer, even if it's a hard answer, or there's something that I can do to fix something, but not this. It feels like nothing I've ever felt before.
The picture you're about to see deals with the problem of self-destruction. We should not be able to diminish this great human affliction until more people do understand it and appreciate its seriousness.
No rights, no wrongs, no way through or around. Distance between us too vast a chasm for even a sharp cry of the heart to make the clearing. Instead, we choose silence, both sides unwilling to bridge the gap. We let a comfortable quiet fall, dust settles. Occasionally, a lonely pebble, breaking silence, fractures and tumbles down into the canyon where we saw rivers of misunderstanding course and carve away at our souls that were so intertwined all those years ago. Our misery became history as we let that space between that deep ravine not wash us clean but pound away at what now lies unseen. And yet we did nothing to stop it. Deep within, echoes of us remain, Can you hear them too?
The drama we've just seen shows a man heading for self-destruction. How can we understand his behavior?
Well, first, it seems to me that we have to react to this experience. I think it was an extremely moving thing, personally.
Do you think this type of thing can really happen?
If God looked upon me now, would his voice whisper, "Well done, good and faithful servant"? Once I longed to hear those words, to burn fiercely in his sight, ablaze alight with purpose. But in my burning, the smoke I breathed clouded my soul and left me gasping for air.
Those who have chosen to enter heaven's door can never come under the wrath of God. But those who remain outside the door are already under the wrath of God and must suffer the full force of the storm when it breaks. Which side of the door are you on?
I so wanted to belong that I turned my head to a truth I did not want to believe until the centrifugal force carried me away. Spinning and spinning and spinning, sparks flew from the friction, and I lit a flame. For years I burned, palms bright, fleshy, grasping for heaven. Contorting myself inside out, I became a beacon, burning for a kingdom under whose banner I marched with raw, throbbing steps, climbing until the air was too thin and the blood stopped flowing to my brain. It was then I saw Jesus in my periphery. "You've lost yourself," he wept, as he held my twisted head and ashen body in his palms. "Yes," I said, "but I'm golden now. I shine." The fire went out, but the glow remained. Ash clung to lungs in the stillness, uncertainty between mourning and gratitude. Burned bright, obedient, consumed. Then the wind stirred, carrying the scent of something new. Not relief, not quite yet, but space and sky, and the quiet, trembling knowledge, survival. Now rise, through smoke and wind, as light fractures the silence and the earth exhales your name.
It just makes life so hard, and it makes hope so limited. It sucks.
The path is wide. Grief grows among the plants you tend to, an ugly weed that stakes its permanent claim in the flower bed. But to uproot grief is to destroy all the beauty you cultivated. Instead, you live with it, and it becomes a thing you notice as you walk through the yard to get the mail. It may reach out to you, but the path is wide. It's gonna be okay, you know? It's gonna be okay. Some things stay rooted even after the storm. Grief doesn't vanish, it adapts. Follows like a shadow at noon, settling into the quiet spaces of a life made new. But hands still shape, knees still bend, and in the soft ruin of what once was, there begins the sacred labor of building again.
Nature sets us many a riddle. Why should beauty be lavished upon creatures which would appear to have no need or use for colorful adornments? The coral garden beneath the sea is breathtaking in its exquisite beauty. Fragile corals grow to perfection, sheltered from the force of the waves. Dies, the sea washes it away, leaving only the warm skin.
When life breaks into a million different pieces, there is no rubble left to sift through, no brick to throw aside in prayer of a still breathing body, and no walls to lean against when the wind comes. When life shatters, the pieces collect at your feet like dust. You can sift through it with your fingers, maybe catching the glimpse of a smile or the warm flare of a hug, but in the end, it's never going to be what once was. And so we build. We make tiny sandcastles out of the past, a lopsided collection of provincial huts that lead us down the road toward our future. It's not life's fault that it fell apart. It deserves to be beautiful once again. Time erodes gently, like wind over dunes. What once crumbled beneath grief now begins to rise again, not in grand monuments, but in strange, quiet formations. The earth reshapes what the soul cannot name, and slowly, strength takes form in unlikely places. Absolutely crushing. The weight of the earth on your sandstone back. It wears away, whittling you down in the hard desert air. Year after year, the wind whips around your fringed body, rearranging the dust of a past self until the husk is gone and a jutted pillar emerges. The relentless sun burns at your newborn back, skin popping and sizzling until you give in, letting the elements mold and shape you. But open your eyes. Your new, beautiful figure stands tall among those who came before, finding your place among them. For the first time, you feel the sun as a friend and not an oppressor. The breeze takes you by the shoulders and yells, "Wake up!" You finally arrived, and how proud you should be to be here. The earth has had its turn, carving strength from ruin. Now the sky waits, not gently, but with wind at the ready, with light too blinding to ignore. There comes a moment when even rooted things ache to move, and so the ground releases, and the body, trembling, leaves the past behind mid-air.
But perhaps this film and our discussion of the story that was told can serve as a springboard for more meaningful discussion where groups spend the time to view this film and think about the nature of the problem.
I've got this pain in my chest. The only way to make it go away, they say, is to center myself. But the pain is at my core, a seed in an upturned apple. Must I devour the rest of myself to get there? Instead, I'd rather lose myself, get as far away from that place as possible. I want to balance beam across the axis of my soul until I reach the end, wildly careening into the first colors I see. The pain in my chest can't reach me here. The colors run fast as I speed over the ridges and high peaks. I don't lose my breath. Instead, I laugh, running at breakneck speed away from the dull, persistent rhythm of that which calls for my return. No, I won't go back. I hear my name in another direction, only it's not my name. It's my name. Some guttural sound I've never heard but feel as it propels me forward. It's coming from inside and also from above. If only I could climb that high. It's then that I feel the wings on my back spread, aching from disuse. I hesitate. I leap. I fly.
Should we tell them together?
Yeah. I love this life!
Good life. Good life.
Good life.